What's happening, everybody? This is Carlos again with another training update. And starting off with some squats, 4 sets of 2 at 375. This is actually the second set due to the fact that I went for it alone without a spotter. And I cut it out after the first rep because it was just, I wasn't feeling it. I guess I was just not tight, or I just had some sort of psychological effect knowing that I didn't have a spotter, and the rep was a lot tougher than I was intended. Coming into today's session, I was already fatigued even before I started. I normally can manage a decent training session despite how I'm feeling, but in this particular day, squats were really tough. I assume this is also because I have not hit this weight for this amount of reps. But nevertheless, I managed to pull through and finish the session. This session by far is a volume PR at 375. And I'm surprised with myself at how far I've gotten due to the fact that I haven't been training consistently. And this weight has always given me some sort of problems as far as confidence. But today I came in and I delivered, and I'm pretty happy with the performance. Following squats, I had bench 205 for 4 sets of 6, and this is actually the second set. I decided to stay on with my heel shoes. Didn't want to bother wearing the flats that I normally wear for bench. And honestly, I don't know if it was the shoes or it was just a good day, but bench was on point. This is also a volume PR for me at 205. And this is, I guess, something I'm going to be debating for the competition, is whether or not to also wear the heels. But I guess I'm going to test this out for another week and a half of training that I have left. I'm pretty happy how bench has come along during the small peak training cycle. Everything feels great. The weight feels really light. I feel like I'm making progress. Making that small adjustment wearing the heels has also helped, so we'll see how this keeps up. Took a day off and started again with bench, and here we have 4 sets at 240, and this was really hard, considering the fact that I haven't handled this amount of weight for this amount of reps in a really long time as well. I decided to stay with the heels, and it actually worked. Bar speed seemed fine. The pauses were okay. And this is probably around my second attempt for the meet. Really happy with the way it went. Bench has given me a lot of problem, and the last 2 weeks I have seen a lot of improvement as far as strength and stability with my knees as well. And here is the last and final set, 240 for 2. Try to make sure that I was tight as possible and get a decent pause just to end it on a good note. And I was really happy with the performance as well. Following bench called for pulls at 405, 3 sets of 2 pause. And like I've mentioned before in the past, pause pulls is one of my favorite, or probably is my favorite accessory for pulling. I recommend this to anyone just to kind of polish up their technique and see some progress with their pulls. This forces the knees to track out and stay out during the initiation of the pull. For a lot of sumo pullers and myself, I've noticed that my knees will cave in with heavier weights. And this emphasizes on stability with your hip position and just keeping your knees out while you're initiating the lift. Pretty satisfied with how pulls have been going in the small peak cycle. I'm just glad that I'm feeling healthy again and seeing a good progress. I took a gamble and decided to squat the following day. The day of the pull, I was really tired. I had a long day at work, and just to stay on track with training, I decided just to go for it. And here we have 355 for 3 sets of 4. Again, this is another scenario where I perform fairly well despite any fatigue or soreness that I've had. And quite honestly, I like to stay at a stage where I feel some sort of momentum and my body has adapted during the week with training, high volume, and some sort of soreness. These were not as hard as I thought they would be. Probably around an RPE 8, and I can go ahead and just use an excuse that I was really tired from the day before. I can honestly say, not really training consistently for the last 4 months, I have made progress a lot faster than I would have imagined. I really try to emphasize on technique while bringing down my volume to the minimum and keeping intensity relatively moderate. And this is something that has helped me a lot in regards of retaining and gaining new strength. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.